Game on again here at Rafters Sports and Movie. It's your boy Scott. Legends roaming around here somewhere. I don't know if he'll pop in or not. We never know because he is the world champion. Hide and go seek. And there we go. Today we've got a special guest, and this special guest comes from us from a support category for sports movies, and that would be the music. So I'm bringing to the stage JacObAllTrades. Jacob, thank you so much for joining us. He's got his headphones on. He's used to wearing them. I only wear them for watch parties, honestly. But the glasses also kind of pinch when you got the headphones on. So Jacob, thanks for coming and talking to us a little bit about, why do we even need music or sounds other than talking and people throwing baseballs and slapping pucks and catching footballs in a sports movie?
I mean, I think music is literally everything in sports movies or anything. I mean, even just casual conversation, because there's always some blank space and it can get a little awkward if you're just sitting there, in a tension-filled scene and, one character's talking and then it just stops and it's all quiet and you're waiting for the next person to talk. That little, even slight background music is definitely a big key to everything in music or in the movies. I mean, it pretty much makes the movie.
Right. So with that, let's talk about some of your favorite movies that you've seen through the years and where you're like, oh man, that soundtrack is just awesome.
I think we have to start with probably the best baseball movie of all time. It has to be The Natural. I mean, the movie itself, fantastic movie. But when it comes to the soundtrack, I don't think that there's a sports movie, let alone a movie, that has a better soundtrack for it. I mean, there's literally sports teams whose home run sounds are the theme song from The Natural. I mean, it's one of the most recognizable scores in movies, let alone sports movies. And I think that it carries that movie so far ahead. And I really think that movie was 10 years ahead of its time.
Oh, yeah, I would definitely agree. It's definitely one of my favorites. I didn't wear that jersey. I'm wearing my Rafters jersey today. But yeah, besides the music and the tone and the building up, the dread and all that with the music that they use in that, I love the sound of the ball hitting the stands when he's hitting his home runs, the clank. It's such a different and unique sound, which goes along with, you've got sound mixing and then you've got music production, which are two totally different things, but you can blend those in a way that makes sense, I'm guessing.
I would say that even with that, with the baseball hitting the stands as he's hitting the home runs, that's a score within itself, because yes, the music is a big portion of movies and everything like that, but even just little things like that, that's music in its own thing, because music in a movie sense can be kind of skewed a little bit as just a score. I mean, you have the intro music, you have the, tensious scene music, but then even something as small as a baseball hitting a stands can be music to somebody's ears. I mean, for people that like the sport, you hear, the pop of a glove, or, the sound of pads hitting, or the swish of a basketball net. I think that that's movie score as well. And I mean, they hire people to make that for them, just as they would hire me to make movie, songs for a movie. Right.
So I jumped ahead of myself because I didn't show your banner in the Rafters. So I apologize. I didn't get that in there right off the bat. Get it? Baseball bat. And also with that, we haven't talked about why you're here talking about this particular topic. How did you get into music? What are you doing? And yes, you can tell us what you got coming up, because anybody that actually saw any of the promos that I did on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok actually has JacObAllTrades music backing it. So good on you that you're out there where I can grab your music and use it. We'll be talking about that more later off screen. But yeah, go into how we got to where you are today.
So there was one song that I grew up with. It was called "Somebody I Used to Know" by Gotye, or Gotye, yeah. And Doechii made a remix of it, or her own version of it, called Anxiety. And I will tell you, it is the worst song I think I've heard in my life. It might be the worst song I think I've ever heard in my life, because growing up, that I knew somebody that I used to know. So when you hear that, I mean, it's literally her rapping over the beat of somebody that I used to know. So every time I would turn on the radio, I hear this, I'm like, oh, dude, I haven't heard this song in forever. And then it's Anxiety. I'm like, okay, I've heard this song 3 times today. So I was sitting in my college town driving, and I was coming home from hanging out with some friends, and I heard it again. And I was like, dude, this can't be that hard. Like, this song is terrible, and she's on the radio. Like, this can't be that bad. So I downloaded FL Studio, which is my digital audio workspace that I use to create music. I loaded up YouTube on my second monitor, and I sat there for 17 hours with as much Red Bull as I can drink, as much nicotine as I can consume, and just went to it. I learned how to do kicks. I learned FX. I learned audio cues. I learned how vocals should sound, how to make vocals sound certain ways. And my first stuff was terrible. My opening couple of tracks were not very good at all. But now we're to the point where it's something that I play at live sets. People play at live sets. You know, it's supported, like remixes are supported by the original artists that have tens to 20s to hundreds of thousands of followers already. And you know, they're recognizable songs now. It's not just like some little kid did it in his free time. It's now that it sounds actually professionally done. I work with professional studio vocalists. I work with professional sound mixers. I have an agent. I have a manager, everything like that. So it's about as professional as it can get for how young my career is, only being 3 years old at this point. I'm a lot farther ahead than I thought I would be, a lot farther ahead than people my age should be within the scene. And it's, I mean, a very, very big blessing at the end point to even have it like that. I mean, you know, everybody that supports me, you know, the comments on Facebook posts, Instagram posts, TikToks, people that show up to the shows, people that take pictures, the few people that ask for autographs for some reason, like my signature's worth any money. I don't know. Or even just as a keepsake, is just, you know, it's heart melting, because it's a dream that I've been wanting to chase for, I mean, forever. I grew up listening to music like it was nobody's business. It was a safe haven for me. And to be able to do this now, I guess now professionally, is probably my favorite thing in the world. I wouldn't want anything else.
So I'm guessing the next phase of your experience is going to be where somebody hands you their track. They're going to hand you, listen to my DVD, listen to my, here's my thumb drive. Listen to my stuff. Help me get to your level.
So I'm at the point now where people are emailing me their tracks, asking for advice.
Oh, you're there. That's so exciting, man.
Seeing if they'll play it up, if I'll play it at sets and stuff like that. And it's a very heartwarming thing, because, you know, some of them are great. Some of them aren't so good, but I'm, you know, that's more of the advice giving. But some of them, I'm discovering a new favorite artist. I'm discovering a new person that has it put together, or is getting it put together. And even the people that don't have it put together and the song is not so great, it's still one of those things where, hey man, like, you're doing it. Like, nobody can tell you that this is bad because they're not doing it. You're doing it. Like, you are putting yourself out there in a very, I guess, really giving way. Like, you're in a very vulnerable spot, you know, producing your own stuff and putting it out there, because, you know, you're going to get hate. There's going to be trolls. There's going to be people that don't like it. It's not ever going to be perfect. Somebody's not going to like what you have to say, what you have to do, how you promote, because I have to go make myself look like a fool on social media, pretty much, with how much I'm promoting my stuff. But it's what I get paid to do, you know. It's very vulnerable, but it's very, you have to learn that if you want to do something and you want it that bad, you got to get it done. You have to do it.
So I watch, there's an individual I watch on Instagram, and I'm not even going to give you their gender, but they're an artist, and they constantly put the same song up over and over and over again. And so somebody finally asked, why are you putting the same exact song over and over again? And sometimes it's the same exact clip, you know, no changes whatsoever. And they said, because every time I upload it, I'm uploading it to a new audience, even though it's still Instagram, because of the algorithm and all that junk. It's somebody new is seeing it, even though it's the same thing again and again and again. So I'm not doing it for the current followers. I'm doing it for the followers that haven't followed me yet. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of deep, but I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not going to be,
I mean,
you know what I mean?
There's been songs that I've uploaded 100 clips of the same audio, different parts of the song, or just the same part of the song. And the biggest thing I can say is, you know, Pepsi has been selling the same product, or Coke has been selling the same product for 300 years. And I guarantee if they had TVs back then, they'd be doing the exact same commercials they're doing now. The design hasn't changed much, if at all. I mean,
right. Well, they did try New Coke for a while, but they learned that they turned that around. They turned that dumpster fire into a success story also when they relaunched the original.
And then you have people that are in the comments like, you know, I like this part, but it could be better this way. I mean, Reese is going back to their original format and original recipe because the owner's grandson didn't like the new way they were doing it. So even if you're uploading it to a new audience, you're getting it done to a new, you're getting new advice. You know, I mean, I talk to people that are playing at Club Space and, you know, are all over the world every day, which is where I hope to get one time at one point. But I'm talking to them like I've known them for years.
Right. So let's talk some other movies that you think have pretty good score. Throw another one at us. You threw us the baseball one. What's another one that you feel really knocked it out of the park? Now, this doesn't have to be a baseball movie, of course.
This is going to be really off the wall. And I guarantee when you think of movie scores, you don't think of this movie, but I'm going to have to go League of Their Own.
Okay. I have not. But as a whole picture movie, people love that movie because as a whole, everything just comes together. So what spoke to you on this one?
Well, first off, I think that's a top 5 baseball movie. I really do. I think that is a top 5 baseball movie of all time. I think it's a top 5 movie of all time in my genuine opinion. Just the way that, I mean, it's not my top 5 favorite, but I think just the way that it's done so well. Well, Madonna had a song on that movie that really blew up her career. So that was a big thing at the time. I don't remember it. I had it pulled up just so I could remember the name of it. It was Used to Be My Playground by Madonna, or This Used to Be My Playground by Madonna.
Yes. I do remember that one. Yes.
And I think that just the way that not necessarily full songs, but song elements are implemented in that movie were done very, very well. For example, when the two sisters finally change teams and they face off in that last game and the big sister drops the ball on purpose so that her little sister can finally win something, there is a couple of song effects that I would use in some of my music that happens at the exact same time that she drops the ball. It reveals to be rolled out of her glove on purpose. And I think that it builds so much tension in that scene that if that FX was not there, the scene would still be good, but it would be very hard to realize that it was on purpose. You would think it was an accident thing. And I think that the FX, it was like just like this drum sound and like this impact where just perfectly equipped for the track for the scene, and it tells you that it was purposefully done by the big sister.
Right. So again, with the music, filling in the gaps, filling in the storylines, filling in where words and scenery, you know, they can only go so far because you can have a beautiful movie cinematically, but if it doesn't have any sound behind it, you're probably going to be like a beautiful waterfall isn't a waterfall unless you hear the water falling to bring it all together. It is spectacular, it is beautiful, but to feel the rush of that many gallons of water over the edge, and in this case, the ball rolling out, and then Kit had her moment in the sun, and then she also had a family and kids, and Big Sister never had either of that.
Yeah.
And so Big Sister never really had what she thought she wanted all along.
Yeah.
So she could have stayed and played and had fun and whatever.
You talked about how something like a movie could be done very cinematically, but if there wasn't a good score, it wouldn't be as good of a movie. Like, for example, like the waterfall, but it needs the waterfall sound effects. The one movie I think that is a perfect example of that is Interstellar. Beautiful movie. If it didn't have the score it had, it would not be as good. very cinematically done. But Interstellar theme song and the Interstellar soundtrack is probably the best soundtrack in a movie that there's ever been.
I like Interstellar. I'm not gonna deny that one, but I like Inception better.
Okay, I have not seen Inception in so long.
The tension that they put up in that movie throughout Inception, the tension they get with the music, it's very similar to Interstellar because you have that light humming all the way through the movie.
Yes, yes.
It's one of those movies that if you ever watch it with the sound off, you lose everything.
Yes,
and because I do watch parties, I do a lot of them where I have to turn the volume almost down so we can talk, and I'm reading it, and it's typically a movie I've already seen, so I know the emotion and all that. But if I were to watch Interstellar or Inception, without the music, it would just
it would just be a movie at that point. I mean, like Interstellar is a cinematic masterpiece. I mean, Inception, the last time I've seen it, had to have been 10 years ago, but a beautiful movie as well. But without those soundtracks, I think that movie falls down the rankings a little bit into a less good movie that has a soundtrack.
I had to watch Interstellar more than once because I was confused. Flash forward, flash backwards. Where are we? The dimensions, the sand, the watch, all that. It didn't hit first for me. And part of that's watching. I think that part of that is watching at home on DVD versus watching in a theater. When you're in a theater, I feel you are more in the zone. Like the speakers in the theater are designed for your viewing pleasure. The speakers in your house, maybe you don't have that 5-speaker system. Or if you do, maybe it's not set up properly for where you're sitting because you decided to sit on this couch instead of that couch. You're not. Whereas when you're in the movie theater, unless it's a bad theater, every seat's a winner.
Yeah. So the way that I've always heard it is movie theaters are for your first time viewing pleasure. The movie at home is for you to understand the movie.
Right. Yeah.
You can sit and pause and take a second to kind of ponder what that meant and everything like that. But there have been some movies that do have bad soundtracks that are still good movies. Bad News Bears is a very big one of them. I think that the soundtrack in there was good at some points, but overall it was terrible. It was good for the era that the movie came out in. Let me rephrase that. It was very punk rock, very they had Cocaine by Eric Clapton. They had oh my goodness, what is the name of the song? I can't think of the name. I have it in my playlist. I just cannot think of the name of that song. But it's like a I can even hum it, but it's whatever.
Let me touch base with you. Which Bad News Bears are we talking about? Are we talking about 1977 or are we talking Billy Bob Thornton remake?
Billy Bob Thornton remake. That's the better one.
Oh, that's the better one. Okay.
That's the better one.
Wow, that's interesting. I totally disagree with that. The soundtrack might be better. But the movie itself, 1976, actually, when the original came out, I saw it in theaters 2 weeks after it launched. And that the aria that they play at anytime you hear that, anybody that is 40 years or older is going to immediately think Bad News Bears.
Well, that's in the 2005 remake too.
It is, but it isn't as much. It isn't prevalent. It's all over the original and the subsequent two sequels because they had 2 sequels after that. And you can watch Breaking Trending, which is number 2, which sets up number 3, which is where they go to Japan. But you can't stream the Japan one. It's not available. You just can't find it. I've been looking for it.
I think,
but it's interesting to me that you're all over the Billy Bob Thornton. It's kind of like, now I got to ask you, which Star Wars is your favorite?
You don't want to hear the answer to that question.
My bet is going to be Phantom Menace.
No, I've never actually seen a full Star Wars all the way through.
Okay, well, that's a whole nother thing.
I could never get into them. I was always a sports kid growing up. My buddy likes Harry Potter movies. Never seen them. I've never read a Harry Potter book. The only one I did see parts of was the one where Darth Vader becomes Darth Vader. But
okay, so that's part of I believe you're talking about part of the prequels. So
like
that's
the
either
originals. Yeah.
Well, in the original, the ones from the 70s, he was already Darth Vader. He didn't become. He was already. So
might have been, I want to say it was episode 4, like the most popular one.
Episode 4 is the original. That's the A New Hope.
Okay.
Anyway, let's jump off Star Wars because you're not a fan. Fan of science fiction because you like Interstellar. But yeah, it's not for everybody. So I'm going to throw one in that I thought had a good score, which I saw within the last year, and it is Air with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. And I watched the movies going in not knowing what it's about, but not knowing how it comes about, because I grew up in the time where we watched Michael Jordan play in North Carolina, the Tar Heels. We watched him score that bucket. We knew the history because we lived through it, and we obviously have the shoes. That's a whole nother story. We won't get into that. So seeing the movie, having it come out and then make it, I'm like, okay, let's see. They did such a good job of using period music, and I guess it probably cost them a fortune to get the music, because a thing that a lot of people don't realize, even in School of Rock, when Jack Black wanted to have what song did he want to have from? He wanted
never seen it.
Is it Immigrant Song?
Yeah, by Led Zeppelin.
By Led Zeppelin. He couldn't just use it. He had to ask permission. And he wrote them a nice letter and asked, and you don't see that song in very many movies. You see it in School of Rock, though. And it was very tastefully done, and they did a great job. Sorry, went off on that rant. But I thought the Air movie did a good job of using period music to get the feel of the period and the time. And having lived in that time, it worked for me. It may not have worked for you because you didn't grow up then. So
I think that's an important part of scoring, is making sure that you can have a beautiful song in a scene, a beautiful song, but a soundtrack that I would value more over a soundtrack that's well done is one that's ample to the time period the movie's taking place in. I don't care if I don't care if they make a movie about the 70s in 2030. If they got to use songs from the 70s, I'm sorry, you have to use songs from the 70s, because you can't set it in the time period and they're sitting there listening to Waka Flocka. That's not how that works. Like, Waka Flocka was not alive in the 70s, And I've seen movies do that, and I'm just like, I get it. Like, it's a great song. It's not right.
So when I watched Stranger Things, and I watched the whole thing, I was looking up the music. Every time they play some music, I was looking it up and seeing if it was period correct. And by and large, most of it was. I think there was a couple of slips, but by and large, it was period correct. And Running Up That Hill, I remember watching that when it first came out on MTV, and I said, "This is an awesome song."
Like Kate Bush.
Yes.
Yeah. My goodness.
But it was so underrated at the time because there's so many other good songs. And of course, she's from England, which pushed her down a bit because going across the pond wasn't a thing like you're getting to enjoy. Your music could be listened in Russia tomorrow, anywhere in the world, which is just crazy. So Air was one of the ones that I thought was pretty cool.
I think it was more of like, because Kate Bush, Running Up That Hill, great song. I mean, all the songs from the 80s and the 90s, great. Most of them are great songs. I can't think of many bad songs from that era. And, I mean, you think of bands like U2 and people that are coming across the pond and are doing well, like the Beatles, for example. But I think it was more that era was led by such great music, and it was used in such powerful movies. And, there was, some of the best scoring in movies, and back then the music videos were movies in their own. You look at Thriller, that's a whole feature film.
Well, and it was released at 7:00 at night. That's where when it was released. It was released on TV between two other shows, and it was the longest video ever, I think, at the time.
Yeah,
and it was long for no reason. I'm sorry, it was just too long. It was too long.
that opening part, if you watch the actual video and you listen to like the radio edit of the song, I mean, the first part, you won't even be able to, I mean, you'll recognize it because of the beat, but you're like, where is this in the actual song?
Right. Yeah.
And I think it was a little too long, but you know, they had the whole interlude with him and the girl, and then they held the whole song, and then it was the whole song again. I'm like, okay, we just played the same song twice.
Right.
Because at one point he's just singing it, and I'm like, all right.
Right. Yeah, it was, but you know, they tried it, and there you go. So you have another one for me that you think did a good job in sports movies as far as the score?
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams? Okay.
Field of Dreams. I want to say John Newman was a big proprietor in that one. Might not have been. It was James Horner that did a lot of the soundtrack in that, and period correct music, beautiful music, and even within the flashbacks when the players came out, what I liked that they did, and talking about period music in that sense, is they used music from the players coming out's period of time, not the actual movie period.
Right.
If that makes sense. I think that, like,
that totally makes sense.
You had Shoeless Joe Jackson walking out to Madonna instead of like some orchestra that I've never heard before from his time period. You know, I want to enjoy that song, enjoy the song. I have no idea what it is a lot more. They could have no words, and I think it's beautiful because it's correct.
But also with that, hearing music that you might not have ever heard, it kind of perks your ears up and makes you go, you know, I might just make a mental note that I need to go look this up later and see what exactly that is. And then maybe you get the backstory of that individual. Ted Lasso did that when Higgins when Higgins took the Kit Man with him to go to the jazz bar, and we learned a little jazz history. And yes, this was the right where he jumped to his death. And I'm like, oh, that's the tragic tale.
Yeah.
Well, jazz music has a lot of tragic tales.
Yeah, that's all that jazz music is really about. I mean, because at that time when jazz music was popular, there was, nothing really to be happy about.
Right.
Because I think that was right during, when did scat become jazz?
That was probably 40s? During Prohibition.
Yeah, the 20s maybe. So, I mean, there's nothing really to be happy about.
Right.
A question for you, though, is when it comes to soundtracks, how do you feel about The Sandlot?
I think I liked the soundtrack of Sandlot, the original. Because I liked the movie. There's no, you know, I don't not watch that movie again when I have the opportunity. I'll watch it again.
Oh, so, it's a great movie.
I don't know that I have anything that really rubbed me the wrong way.
I was about to say that kind of, yes. That
okay,
one,
tell me,
and then
I might have missed it.
That one and then For Love of the Game have the same issue, and they're both in one scene. I want to say it was the pool scene where he's faking that he's
right, gonna get the girl
drowning, trying to get the girl kiss. They played music there. Not really a need for it. I think you can overdo soundtrack, and I understand that they're trying to build tension, but the tension that he's trying to get the kiss from the hot lifeguard is enough. You know, you need to have that moment of like, kind of takes your breath away. Like, is he going to get it? Is he not? You know what I mean? But then the soundtrack comes in, you're just like, good song. It's a great song. I don't know the words. I don't know the name of it, but it's a great song. But you're sitting there bobbing your head when you should actually just be like, okay, you feel kind of like in the moment there. You feel like you're sitting next to the pool with him.
It's kind of counterproductive. It's pulling the other direction instead of going with the flow.
I mean, I haven't seen The Sandlot in a very, very long time, but I think that's the one scene that's always stuck with me. It's just not right, you know? Like, it's not what I would do.
So when I started the channel, my son said, have you seen the third Sandlot? And I'm like, there's a third?
I didn't know there was a second.
There is a second. And I want to say the second one is it's the girls have the Sandlot, and it's the softball team has the Sandlot. So it's the girls against the guys, if I remember right. And then the third one is kind of a redemption story, flashback, Back to the Future. So you meld Back to the Future, Sandlot, and a redemption all together, and you get the third Sandlot. So it's okay. it's different for, if you look at that time period of when the movie came out, it was different. Now we see a lot of the Freaky Fridays and flashbacks and going back in time, a lot of those, but it's okay. Do you need to go see it? No. Is it worth $350? No. But you'll find that one for free.
I'm very against sequels to movies like that, especially when the first movie is really good. I feel that way about The Sandlot. Haven't seen either one. I feel the way about Major League. I like Major League 1 more than Major League 2. Jarhead's another one that I think that the sequels are just a waste of time. Right. I mean, I feel like all these movies that have sequels, I don't think I've ever seen a good sequel.
It's hard to have the Major League 1 and Major League 2 is probably the closest at it getting it right, but it was still not that good. I mean, it made its money back. It made quite a bit of money. And then they went to the well again and they did a third one. And it was just, oh God, it was so bad. And it won an award called the Movie We Never Wanted Award. It's the award it won.
Yeah.
Which totally makes sense because we didn't want we were okay with their arcs, and storytelling is a gift. So let's just not make up some random stuff just so we can throw them out there again.
You can make money.
So do you remember in For Love of the Game was the music when he hurt himself, where they were playing some song there that just really long?
Yes, when he hurt himself.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
I was about to say, I think that movie's been out for like 30 years. Maybe even longer. You never know though.
It's been out for a while for sure.
It's when he hurt himself and like there's already tension. Hey, the dude's hurt. Like this is a bad thing. They have music in the background, like a couple of strings or whatever in the background. Cool. No, they have like this full-on production going on behind them. I'm like, we didn't need this. Like we really didn't need this at all. But there is one sports movie that I know you probably have not seen because I mean, it's a sports movie, but it's a made-up sport, if that makes sense. So the creators of South Park, before they did South Park, they have a movie called Basketball.
Oh, you're kidding me, right?
I'm not kidding you. You have seen Basketball?
Hang on. I'll be right back.
Oh, God.
Basketball, huh? There is. Fill in the tension here.
I know. I gotta play some music or something. We gotta start scoring this. Let's see. Oh no. Wow. Okay.
Okay. So not only we have number 44, and it is
Cooper,
but check out the patch.
Wow. That is well
Custom
done.
Made.
Yeah.
Custom made.
Wow.
Custom made just for me. One in the world. I'm the one that has it. 101. So yeah, I'm very familiar with Basketball.
That movie is so good.
The guy that did the stunt coordination, Monty Cox, was on the program. We talked some basketball. We talked some stunts that went wrong before he became the stunt coordinator. It's a movie that will never have a sequel because they're so much don't want to have anything to do with it. They just want to do South Park.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because the movie was hilarious.
Yes. Yes. And I think that was the first time you ever heard Cartman's voice too. At the very end, or what would become Cartman's voice. Yeah. I think that movie, my little loved this movie, and he kept trying to get me to watch it. So we're sitting there scouring YouTube for it, and finally we find it because dude, you're gonna love this movie. At this point, I'd never seen it. We watched it, and I was like, "You're telling me this thing has existed since like the '90s, and I've never seen this?" I was like, "This is probably one of the funniest like sports comedies I think I've ever seen." I mean, it has to be. I mean,
everything. They spoofed the Dallas Cowboys. They spoofed other sports.
They spoofed the NFL. Like, you know, I mean, they spoofed everything. And it's done so well that it's Like to me, it's funnier than Bad News Bears.
Oh, it definitely
by
is.
miles,
Definitely.
by miles. Because Bad News Bears, it kind of spoofs like Little League a little bit, but basketball, I mean, I can't find one thing in sports that it didn't spoof.
Right, the money, the
money, the
greed.
trades, the greed. It really, at that point, the NFL was under a lot of flack, so it took me like right straight into like how the NFL is being right now, or at that time, because I think I watched it like 2021, 2022, where they were coming out of COVID and the NFL was trying to remake their money back, and the league was just terrible for like, I mean, it's still terrible, but it was terrible, like worse for like 3 years. And at that time, when I first saw it, I was like, dude, this sounds exactly like what the NFL is doing right now. I was like, somebody needs to make
So the best way to watch the NFL, I'm sorry, is to watch it with the sound off.
Watch it with the video off.
No.
Yeah. I hate the NFL. I think it's so terrible. I'm a big college football guy.
College football is definitely
Better.
where it's at. Definitely. Yeah. So what was it in the music of basketball, or was it basketball just in general? What was it in the music of basketball that you liked?
Oh, the music was perfect because none of the songs fit. And I found out they did that on purpose. The music selection was awful. It was genuinely terrible. But they did that on purpose because they were spoofing sports movies in general, having like over dramatic scenes. Like they'd have this over dramatic soundtrack, and it's just him showering or something, or some random clip in the movie, and you're like,
eat breakfast, cereal.
Like you don't need this music here. And then when you actually go in and look and kind of research it as somebody that's in the field of work I'm in, you're like, okay, it was done on purpose for it not to make sense. And they've come out and said, like, yeah, we did this on purpose. Like, we made this so bad. We wanted to make this so bad that nobody would ask us to do it again.
Well, but we'd love to see a basketball, the second season, or the basketball, the torch passed, or whatever. We're supposed to be getting a Spaceballs reboot.
I'm excited for it, but I'm also nervous.
So what's interesting is Rick Moranis retired because his wife passed away tragically early, young. And so he said, yeah, I got to raise my kids. That's where I need to be. His kids are raised now. It's time.
He's going to be in it.
It's time. So hopefully that'll come to pass. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of music they have backing that, because they pretty much went to John Williams' route of Star Wars with the orchestral music and stuff like that, which you need to watch Star Wars just for that purpose. Watch the first 3, 4, 5, and 6, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. You can stop there and just listen to it and know that came from the 70s, and you'd be like, interesting, because they weren't doing orchestral scores at that time frame.
They had a pretty baller composer at the time. I can't remember his name.
John Williams.
John Williams, yeah. Because I know I watched the Family Guy spoofs of it. I love those. Those are my favorite Family Guy episodes. But they have like all the different composers and stuff like that. And they're like, one of them gets killed in a scene. Next, they bring on a different composer to do the scene, and it just kind of changes things up. But I think that the way that they did, I'm a sucker for some orchestral scoring in a movie, because I think it just adds more tension than hearing a song that I know.
Right. Well, Darth Vader's got his own song, so.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, I feel like everybody knows that. Yeah.
There you go. You can't not know that, even if you haven't seen the movie.
It's everywhere. It's literally. I mean, at the one point it was in commercials. It was everywhere.
Yep.
Him, that and his voice.
James Earl Jones was also in The Sandlot, so he was also in Field of Dreams. So he's going to be hard to replace.
Impossible to replace.
He was also played himself on The Big Bang Theory, which was totally hilarious how they used him there. They did Ding Dong Ditch at Carrie Fisher's house. It's not funny, James. It's not funny. Then why am I laughing?
Him and oh my goodness, what was his name? He just passed away too. He did oh my goodness, I can't think of his name. He's an African American guy that's in some like TV show or some movies, but he was irreplaceable as well. I can't think of his name. He passed away, I want to say a year ago. maybe earlier this year, maybe 2024, but I don't remember what it was. Like something the Johnsons or something like that. But I know that I've seen a couple of movies he was in. I just can't remember his name. That he's irreplaceable. And then I couldn't watch The Big Bang Theory after I finished watching Young Sheldon. It made me mad.
Yeah, you got to watch Big Bang first, then watch Young Sheldon.
I was just talking about the ending. The ending made me mad. I wasn't expecting him to die like that.
Well, yeah, that was different. How more spoiler alerts here. Different how they did that. What do you think about? Do you have another one before I go on?
Oh, go for it. You're good. You're good. I've run out.
Rocky.
Never seen it.
That trumpet building at the beginning.
Oh, I know the Rocky theme song. Yeah.
Yeah, the trumpet building at the beginning, and then you've got Gonna Fly Now. Then we go on to the next or the second or third movie. You've got Eye of the Tiger, which still is played at high school talent shows today, because it's such an easy song to play.
It's a timeless song too. I mean, it's played everywhere.
Right.
And I think that is a very, probably the only thing I can, like, the only aspect of that is where the song is not created for the movie. It was created for its own song, but it was added to the movie. That is the only song that was not created for the movie that song is known because of that movie.
Right.
I mean,
100%.
Everybody knew Eye of the Tiger, but if you think Eye of the Tiger, you think Rocky.
Right. It's synonymous. And then, the marching bands play it, and the marching bands play Gonna Fly Now, which is a whole different song. But for that movie, if you go back and watch Rocky again, I think it was underscored, meaning they didn't score it enough.
I agree. I agree.
But I think that was a budgeting thing, because we're talking, you want to talk about a shoestring budget. This was about as shoestring as it gets. And he sold his dog in order to get money to make the movie. And when he made it back, he went back and bought his dog back.
Yeah.
So that's just crazy how shoestring they were in that one. And we had probably more movies than we needed. But a lot of people like 4, which is with Dolph Lundgren, the Russian.
I want to say that's the most notable one, correct?
Well, but besides the first one, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. That's the one everybody's watched, because there's, again, more music in there. Because there's another song in that one. It's not Eye of the Tiger. Or was it Eye of the Tiger? I thought Eye of the Tiger was earlier. But I want to say there's another, anyway. But number 5 is the one that Sylvester Stallone doesn't like himself. He's like, I just wish I wouldn't have made that movie.
Yeah.
And it's just not a good. Don't go see it and see why you don't like it.
Yeah. Sequels, trilogies, quarterlies, and the 5th time you do a movie, it's probably running out of ideas at that time, where it's just the same old script with different characters and maybe a little minor change every once in a while.
I'm gonna look up Rocky 4 real quick and see if I can find that song that I'm remembering. But I want to say it's also by the same band, but it's different. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Okay, filming. No, Eye of the Tiger was in there. They also had Double or Nothing, Easy Way Out. Living in America was in there.
Yes.
Even though that was an older song, it definitely worked.
Burning Heart was the other one by Survivor in there.
That's the one. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But I want to say that Eye of the Tiger was used in a previous movie.
I want to say the first one. I think that was like his theme song.
Was it in the first one also? Because the Rocky theme song is Gonna Fly Now. So let's go back to 1976, Rocky Balboa. Literally, we can go back to the poster for Rocky Balboa, which I have on the screen.
I want to say that one was all done for a movie.
So let's see. Soundtracks: Take Me Back, Rocky's Theme, Gonna Fly Now. Yeah.
I want to say that we're all done for a movie. There was like outside score.
There's some where they use the U.S. Marine Corps hymn, Silent Night, Holy Night, Jingle Bells, First Noel. So there's not much scoring here. They had Gonna Fly Now, which I do think that was created for this movie, but Eye of the Tiger came later, and I want to say that came in 2, and then was used throughout the rest of the series, because they needed it, wanted it, had to have it. I don't know, but I still think they did a really good job on the song itself, building tension and giving us what we wanted in that song, or what we needed in that song. Because we needed some, build us up music.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
We brought it to the table. What do you think about music in a TV series? I mean, you're clipping along at a good pace. You got a 30-minute show. You got an hour show. You got to have some music in there, but it's a whole different feel or vibe.
Soundtracks for movies are more done for per show. They hardly ever pull out from outside scorers there, because there's so little time constraints that Netflix or whoever discusses the TV show is not going to send up these big bucks that these artists want for sync licensing for 10 seconds worth of a song. You know what I mean? Sometimes they will, but usually they'll do it for movies, where movies are a little bit more timeless than TV shows. But I've only really ever seen, maybe minus like the occasional per season, it done for song or for movies. I guess that or for TV shows. I guess it's more popular now because I feel like everybody's making music nowadays, so they have an unlimited grasp to choose from. They can choose from somebody my size that they could pay littler that has a good song,
or they could just have one of the actors do it, like in Shoresy, where the actor is a musician, JoJo, and he provides the music, which works with their vibe, their tone of what they're doing, and it just fits. So have you watched Shoresy yet? Is that on your short list? Okay, so comes on Hulu. It's hockey.
Okay.
And it's got some good teamwork type stuff in it too, but it's got some body humor, some out of there humor. But it's it's a senior league hockey league that you're following, and Shoresy's the main character, and that's pretty much the setup. But you'll know what I'm saying. I think you'll like the music for it.
Okay.
Like, oh yeah, I have heard this, or
yeah.
It definitely goes along with the party theme, the party nature of, hey, we just won, or hey, we're gonna go party anyway.
Yeah.
So that's one that I've enjoyed in particular. But TV series like Stick, I don't even remember music being in that TV series, and it probably was. Which is not a knock on it. It was good enough, and it didn't take the place of the actors.
What happened? Yeah.
And the emotion there.
Speaking of like stuff that like, I mean, movies that have memorable songs or memorable music. I think one from my time era, like my generation, has got to be Project X. I don't know if you've ever seen Project X, but the scoring in that movie is phenomenal. They knocked it out of the park.
Is there a train in this one?
Project X is the one where they have that house party that gets out of control, and it's got a bunch of nobody actors in it. But this movie's like worth millions. Like the movie generated millions, and it's one of the most infamous like party movies of all time. Pretty much like a kid's turning his birthday, he's 18. They throw his brother or his friend Costa throws his all-out party at his house, and I mean, it is one of a kind of movie. Like, I don't think there's been a movie before or a movie after that is anything like Project X. Maybe Blue Mountain State, but I think Project X knocks it out of the park.
So I have not. So there's two Project X. There's one from '86.
No, it's the
And
one
then
from like 2000.
2012.
2012 is the one. Yes, that is the one that goes down in like history.
Yeah, 19. So actually, there's been three. There's been a 1987, 2012, and 2025.
Hold on, there's a new Project X. Give me 1 second.
There is. That's the one I'm clicking on now. Oh, it's a foreign film. So yeah, that's not even gonna. That has to do with a police officer.
Yeah, if you look up Project X on Google, the one that'll pop up is the one from 2012. It's got
so I'm looking it up on IMDb Pro. So
it's got a young Miles Teller.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, very, very.
Because he was in everything about that time.
Yeah.
Thomas Mann, Olivia Cooper, Oliver Cooper. My bad. Sorry, Oliver. Kirby Bliss, Nick Nerves, Miles Teller. Miles Teller plays Miles. There's a shocker. So did you see the movie Whiplash?
I have not.
Okay. I'm not sure that you'd like it. Honestly, it's a drum movie where he plays a drummer. And
the only drum movie I've seen was Drumline.
Did you like it?
Oh, yeah. That's a top 5 movie.
Classic.
That's one of my top 5 favorite movies.
Cult classic, definitely. Hard to believe that's Nick Cannon, in my opinion.
Yeah. He reminds me of Michael B. Jordan at that time.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. I actually argued with my family about it. No, that's Nick Cannon playing that. That's not Nick Cannon. No way, that's Nick Cannon. I looked it up. I'm like, oh, I'm eating crow now because you're right. Yeah. I'm wrong, and I'll admit it when I'm wrong, guys. I really will because it happens, and I'm not perfect, no, by no means. But that's a very fun movie, and the drums they do. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that at a college game before.
I think the reason that movies like Drumline and Project X work so well was not necessarily the Project X was really based off of period songs, kind of. But, I mean, we both know how we met. And think about our time there and what you would usually listen to there. It's literally the basis of, like, Project X and Drumline. Like, Drumline, they're playing stuff you hear at a high school football game perfectly. Project X, they're playing stuff that you'd hear at a backyard party. I mean, it's got everything. And I think that it's one of the movies that does a very big mix of genres very well. I mean, you have a Steve Aoki remix, you have Eminem, you have Cassie, you have Michael Jackson, you have all this different stuff. But then they also mix in some of that orchestral kind of like tension building music. Like the outro song in that movie is Intro by the XX.
Love that. I'll listen to that just rando.
And if you only watch one scene from that movie, obviously watch the whole movie, so you kind of get the basis of why that scene's so important. But not to spoil it for you, pretty much they're losers at the end. They end up being legends. I mean, but the entire like walk through the hall as the intro by the XX is starting to kind of ramp up and play. And then as it cuts out as it like fades out, and the moment it fades out, that moment, make the movie. So
I'm seeing 52 songs on this soundtrack.
For Project X?
52. That is a lot of music to be in a song. And for them to go get the permission to use all this, their lawyer had to have been hella busy.
Well, the way that they got around it is, so it says 52 songs. A lot of those songs in the scenes are, I'm in the bathroom at a party. I'm hearing it through the walls kind of thing. So you're hearing the beat of it. You're not hearing like the actual words. I think the only ones I can really remember from it are Intro by XX, WTP by Eminem, the Kid Cudi, Steve Aoki remix, and a couple of others.
They're not playing the whole song.
No, they literally. So the way that it happened was, it was supposed to be a found footage film, because they pretty much and hired all these people. The only actors that you see are the ones that are on camera most of the time. Miles Teller, Dax Flame, who's the cameraman. It's supposed to be like a vlog kind of thing. But everybody else they hired for the party was literally just random people.
Right.
And they bought them beer. They made sure they were all over 21, and they bought them all beer. They hired DJs to come in and just play like they're playing to a party. So they had to score based off what the DJ played. They didn't come in having a preset list. They hired 2 DJs, one for the inside, one for the outside, and pretty much said, just play. And that was a shoestring budget film too. But there's Eminem loved the movie. Stevie Aoki loved the idea of the movie. So a lot of artists gave them their songs to use for free. I mean, it was only like 15 seconds of the song.
On a budget of $12 million, they grossed worldwide $102 million. This movie kind of made its money back. Just a little bit. And when you watch that movie, and they're destroying it, and a Mercedes classic, they're destroying a house, they're lighting cars on fire outside on the street. When you think about how much of that budget of the 12 million was probably just in destruction, you realize how scrappy the actual filming and the acting of that film actually was. Crazy. And Nima Narasta was the director. I got your last name wrong. He did American Ultra, Gangs of London, The Gentleman. I like The Gentleman. That's the TV series. I like the TV series. So, wicked crazy. Any last thoughts for us on music scores and music? Got to set the tone.
Not that I have. Off the top of my head, I really don't have anything. We've talked about a lot of like what makes music and movies so great. I really appreciate you having me on. This was a fantastic conversation. Just chatting just about anything. I mean, I always like, coming on and doing podcasts and stuff like that and talking to people about, my industry and how we can kind of connect industries as well. You being a sports podcaster and movie reviewer, and me being a musician that got really lucky, and how we can kind of connect and combine and make it a thing,
Well, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me as JacObAllTrades on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, Instagram, Facebook, Tinder, Twitter.
And if they have the wherewithal to go see you, where can they see you in person live here in the near future?
So I will be in Atlanta and Florida in May. I'm working for I'm going to butcher the venue in Houston, but it's the Blues Music City Hall.
That sounds right.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one in like downtown Houston, the Blues Music City Hall. And then we're working on on being a direct support for something they have coming to the Cynthia Woods Pavilion this fall when they start doing concerts again, or this summer when they start doing concerts again.
Oh, it's so hot at Cynthia Woods, though.
It's going to be a blast. I love it. I used to help the concessions there. It's a beautiful venue.
Oh, it definitely is a beautiful venue. And then the acoustics are nice because it is an outdoor venue, which gives you a whole different acoustic experience.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm everywhere. I play in LA and at the Roxy in June. I play on the Edge, which is about 70 stories up on a skyscraper in New York in July. And after that, 2026 is I have an album releasing in September that I'm excited about, or October that I'm excited about. And just a lot of new music, just a lot of new opportunities to hear new stuff. And just the shows are filling in as we get them. So,
well, Jacob, hang tight 1 second. I'm put you in the back room so I can close this out. Thanks again for being a guest on the channel. So, JacObAllTrades, you need to show him some love. Go check out his videos. I have, and I love the music. I'm an older guy, but I listen to all sorts of music. It's crazy that way, but I also watch all sorts of movies too, but mostly sports, because you're here with Rafters, Sports and Movies. This game is over, but we're going to have more. Come back and check it out. And I'm clicking the end button now.